Welcome to a new section, everyone. In this section, I want to introduce you to another very powerful feature in Excel, which is called record macro. Now, so far, we either wrote the code or we copied it from the internet. But there is a third option, which allows you to perform tasks on the Excel. And then every time you're performing a task, at the back end, the code is being saved in VBA. So let's take a small example. We have this data set and I want to find the total sales, which is the sum of sales. And perhaps I also want to sort or maybe filter the data in a slightly better manner. Now, before I do all of these things, I want to click on this button called record macro and we can give it a name. So I'll just call it my first recording. We don't want to change anything else. We click on OK. Now you notice that the button has changed to stop recording. This means that every single command that we are performing, which can be the smallest of things, maybe going from one cell to the other cell, adding a sheet, writing a formula, changing the color, every single one of these commands will be saved in the VBA window. So let's not worry too much. Let's just continue to work how we would in any case have worked. I first want to create a row. I want to add a column, select my data, and align everything in the middle and in the center. We also want to put a border. We also want to put a thick outside border. I will color the headings as blue. At the end, we will write total. We will write equal to sum of all these numbers. Align it at the center and then put a border here as well. Now, once we've done all these things, we can click on developer and stop recording. And let's see what happens. Let me undo this. Now, this is how our original data was. If we want to rerun all the steps, all we have to do is to click on macros and then run the macro that we just recorded, which is my first recording. And you notice in a single click, it gives you the same result. Very impressive, right? Think of the amount of time this will save you if you had to do this maybe 100 times. Because no matter how fast you are on Excel and how many shortcuts you know, you would have still had to do those 10, 12 steps one at a time. The advantage of recording a macro is that, like a play button, you're simply recording all the actions, and then when you click on replay, all those actions are repeated. For that matter, even if I had another sheet, so I'm just going to another sheet and then adding, let's say, name and then target and then some different numbers. So 25, 35, and 60. And then let's say the name is D, E, and F. You notice we can again rerun the macro called my first recording. And in a single click, we get the same formatting, the same border, and the same formula. Let us see what has been recorded at the backend. So let me go to module and you can see that this entire piece of code is what has been recorded. Now I know it looks like a lot, but don't worry about it. Remember, we have not written it. All we have done is to perform some actions on Excel and at the backend, this got recorded automatically. But if you really want to understand it, you can break it down into different steps and you can see that first we selected row number 1, we added a row, then we selected column number A, we added, and then we selected a range which is B2 to C5, and then again you notice we are adding an alignment, then we're adding a border, and so on and so forth. So like I said, you don't need to worry about the lines of codes because in any case you were the one who performed the action. So even if the line of code runs into thousands, that should not bother you. All you have to be careful about is the fact that when you're recording, try to minimize the number of actions as much as possible. And when you're repeating the action, make sure that you're repeating it on a similar data set. So it can't be a data set which is in a different format. So let me explain that as well. A very simple example. Now imagine we have three values. All right. Now when I record a macro, see what happens. Record, and let's just call it first record. Now when we press Control, Shift and down arrow, obviously we select the entire column, and if I align it in the center and I stop the recording, you would assume that it is selecting the entire column. So let's do that once again. I'm adding 40, 50 and 60. I will click on macros and then rerun my macro, which is first record. And when I click on run, you notice that it is working perfectly, which means that despite the fact that we added more rows, the macro continues to work because we press Control, Shift and down. Fair enough, right? But think of it this way. Imagine we wanted to write a target which is equal to into 1.1. Now when I record a code, let's say only with three values, let's also align it in the center. We will say developer record macro, and I'll call this formula 1. Control C. We do control down arrow, control. Let me just do that once again. So just to make sure that we're doing everything correctly, I'll click on record macro. We call this formula 1. Okay. Control C, control down arrow, left arrow, control up arrow, right arrow, control shift up arrow, and then control V. That's how you copy a value till the last record. I will press escape and then stop the recording. Let us see if that works if we change the formula. So if I change it to 1.25 and I run my macro called formula 1, the moment we click on run, you notice it works perfectly. Let's do that once again. This time I'm going to add two more values. So when I run my macro and I say formula 1 and I click on run, you notice there's something going wrong. Now the reason this problem is coming is, think about it. When we recorded the macro, we only had three values, but this time we have five values with us. Now the code is not able to understand that we have added additional values in our data set. And that's the reason it is sticking to 3 and not going to the fourth and the fifth one. Now how do you fix this? If we go back to the code, and let me just copy and paste this in a new module so that there's no confusion. So I'll call this new module copy paste formulas. Now everyone, just look at this carefully. What have we done here? We said Control C, Control down, which means we went to the last row of our worksheet, right? And then we went to the left column. That means once we went to D1048576, we went to C1048576, right? Which is what you can see here. Then we did Control up and then we selected D5. Now this is the part which is a little problematic. If you notice, it is selecting D5. But why is it selecting D5 even though we have two more numbers, D6 and D7? Now remember, the reason for this is that when we recorded the code, obviously we only had the value still 5, and that's the reason it is not going up till 7, right? And that's what we want to find out. How do we do this? For this, we need to find the last column. That means that despite the fact that more columns have been added, or rather more rows have been added, we need to find the last row in our dataset, not the last column, but the last row in our dataset. To do this, we can go back to our code and we will say that my L row, which means my last row, is equal to cells rows.count. Remember, rows.count is the total number of rows that you have in Excel, which is 1048576. And which column are we looking in? We are looking in column C, which is number 3. So we'll select column number 3. And then I want to do an end Excel up because we want to do a control up dot row. So if you're getting a little confused, what I want to do here is to simply show to you separately how this result will come. Okay, just watch this. So I'm just putting it in a temporary subroutine right now. Okay, and we want to say debug dot print L row. Let's see what the result is. So in our immediate window, let me just put the immediate window where it belongs. Excellent. So in our immediate window, you notice when I run this code, it will show me 7. Now, why is it coming as 7? Because we have 7 as the last row on our C column. The moment we add some more values, if we run this again, you notice it gives us 10. Very smart, right? This means that now we have made the last row dynamic. So rather than choosing the 5th row every single time, which doesn't really make any sense, what we want to make sure is that we are choosing the last row dynamically. So how do we incorporate it in our previous code? We can simply put L row here, which is already there. And let me remove all this. So rather than saying that 5 is the last row every single time, we want to concatenate L row like this. Let's see how this works. So this time, when we are only working with 3 rows and I run my formula 1, wait a second, it was formula 1, right? Excellent. So when I run formula 1, you will notice that it gives us the result. But let's try this with some more numbers. Let's say we have a 40 and a 60. Again, you notice when I click on macros and formula 1, you notice it works perfectly. Excellent, right? So what we've done here is we have made the code dynamic by searching for the last row dynamically. Now remember, this is one of the most obvious things that you want to do when you're learning VBA, because finding out the last row is super important because every time the data set will keep on changing in size and you want to be able to accommodate the additional rows or the fewer rows, and you can do that by finding out the last row.